ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930 present The Drive.
It is Thursday, February 6th. Your drive begins now on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I'm your host, Paul Swann. Our text line this hour, 304-396-TALK. 304-396-8255, brought to you by Clark's Pump and Shop. Big win last night for the Thundering Herd. We've got to talk about this, obviously. We got to break this one down for those of you that couldn't stay up late with us last night after the game. This is your show. Big win for the Thundering Herd, beating Arkansas State 77-72. Now that puts Marshall one game back of Arkansas State for the top spot. There is a cluster of teams that's going to get sorted out over the next couple of weeks. One of those clusters could be sorted out next week. Marshall's got Saturday off. Of course, you've got the Sunbelt MAC Challenge that's happening this weekend. Marshall, thankfully, not participating because, again, Marshall has its own MAC Sunbelt Challenge every year with schools like Ohio. And, again, with Marshall, unique history with the Mid-American Conference compared to the majority of those Sunbelt schools. I would rather Marshall pick and choose its own MAC opponents than just be paired up with a random, and I'm okay with that. You're not pairing schools up based off of anything other than, okay, this is the most comparable opponent. Top team, second top team, second top team, bottom team, bottom team. I'm okay with that, but I'd rather Marshall play Ohio, a few other MAC schools yearly, just based on its scheduling. It's more attractive for, I think, a lot of Herd fans. But the benefit is the Herd's got some time off, and that'll be important as the stretch run begins. 4 of the next 6 will be on the road, including 4 straight road contests. So that's going to be a tough road for the Thundering Herd, but we're going to get into all of that with you on the show. Again, the text line, one more time, brought to you by Clark's Pump and Shop, is 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. So who stood out the most? First, for me, I think it's Nate Martin. 18 points, 14 rebounds. Last night, double-double. When he has a double-double, I feel good about Marshall's chances because he's active on the boards. He's a part of the offense. I felt good about that tonight. Also had a couple of assists as well. 2 assists, 1 turnover. Nate Martin only had 1 foul. Believe that? And this is one of those weird games where I look at the plus-minus, and I didn't get into it yesterday too much because it's weird how it seemed to play out. Nate Martin with 18 points, but he had a -4 on plus-minus. So I look at that and think, okay, 18 points, 14 rebounds. He's keeping the Herd in the game. That's what he's doing. He's out there. He's keeping the Herd in the game. And then you have Dzane Mingo, 14 points, 10 assists, making things happen. He had 5 rebounds, all defensive, by the way. Had a steal as well, and he was +2. This is a high-scoring game, back and forth. This was a fun game. And then you got a guy like Wyatt Fricks, 12 points, 3 of 5 from the three-point line, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, 4 of 6 for the game. Also had 3 rebounds. He had 2 blocks out there for 12 minutes because Obinna Anachili-Killen playing with 4 fouls when it was all said and done. 11 points for Obinna. 4 fouls. He was out there only 24 minutes, and it was a tough night without him in some regards, but then I felt like the second half the Herd really adjusted, and part of that is Wyatt Fricks showing up and being very productive. He was +11. So I like to look at the plus-minus number, but I can't just blindly go, well, okay. You know, Nate Martin was -4. What was he doing out there? Well, he was getting you 14 rebounds and keeping the Herd in the game. That's what he was doing his very best. How about Cade Gibbs? Cade Gibbs had 0 points, but he had 4 rebounds, 11 minutes, and he was +13. That's the quirk of it. No points whatsoever. So he was good for the Herd scoring 13 points while he was out there. That's an interesting stat there. If Fricks is out there for 12 minutes, has 12 points, and he's +11,
Cade Gibbs is out there, 11 minutes, doesn't score a single point, but his plus-minus is 13. Kind of an indicator, again, the positive impact he was having on the court. But here are a few things we highlighted yesterday. And again, for those of you that couldn't stay up late, I don't blame you. I talked to a few people. And again, this is anecdotal, but there were a few people who was like, I can't do it. I got kids. It was going to be a late night. Unfortunately, the weather causing a lot of issues for people in the area. So our hearts go out to those folks impacted by the flooding and the weather last night. So it was a well-attended game despite all of the obstacles going against it. 4,309 looked good on TV. It was loud, but I know a lot of people skipped out because of the fact that you're going to get home late. But if you live in, say, Lexington, you're going to these kind of crazy nighttime games all the time, right? TV games, playing at weird times. I don't know if you're going to see that more often for the Thundering Herd if Marshall gets really good all of a sudden and TV decides to look Marshall's way for these opportunities that the league has to be on one of the linear networks. We could be seeing some of these late-night games here in the future. It just seemed to work out, though, because everyone was playing on Wednesday for the league because of the MAC Sunbelt Challenge. Wednesday's always been a tough night for Herd fans, but I thought it looked good on TV last night. I thought the Herd fans showed up. Students were out. That was good. Great atmosphere. Marshall gets the win and holds Arkansas State to 39% shooting. Arkansas State was better in the second half, but in that first half held Arkansas State to 32% shooting, 10 of 31. Not much better, a little bit more productive in the second half, 13 of 28. The free throw line, 10 of 24. So some points left off the board there for Arkansas State. For Marshall shot 29 of 65 for 44.6%. 32% in the first, and in the second half, 61%. And some key three-pointers, 5 of 9, including the barrage from Wyatt Fricks. Herd also a little bit better percentage-wise from the free throw line, not much. 12 of 17, 70.6%. They said not much. 69.6% is what Arkansas State shot. But I think some points were left off the board there. I apologize. 10 of 24 from the three-point line. I said free throw earlier for Arkansas State. Let me catch that. 10 of 24 from the three-point line for Arkansas State. 41.7%. So there were some opportunities for Arkansas State. There were some opportunities for the Herd, 7 of 23. But I think that first half, 2 of 14, the Herd's in the game. Marshall, 2 of 14 from the three-point line in the first. Down at half, 35-29. And Coach Jackson was like, all right, we got him right where we want him. Felt good about what the team was doing and knew what to do to adjust. And then the second half, better shot selection, good shots, 5 of 9 from the three-point line. Marshall in that second half, 17 of 28. Better performance overall. More opportunities at the free throw line, 9 of 13. A lot of points in the paint, 32 there for the Herd. And here's the number that if you clean that up, you've got at least a better idea of what this team can do, because Marshall gave up 19 points off turnovers and only had 9 points off turnovers. But second chance points, Marshall won that battle 20-8. Rebounding in this game, 35 boards for Arkansas State, 42 for the Thundering Herd. Bench points, 12-5 in favor of the Herd. Fast break points, close, but 11-9 in favor of Arkansas State. And good performances. We didn't even talk about Michael Dawson at 15 points, 5 of 19 from the field, 2 of 9 from the three-point line, also 6 rebounds in the contest. So Fricks, double digits. Nate Martin, double-double. Dezane Mingo, double-double. Michael Dawson, 15.6 boards. Obina Anachili Killen, 11 points, had only 2 rebounds, playing with 4 fouls when he wasn't on the bench. So he was limited, 24 minutes, and still had 4 blocks. The Herd had 7 blocks in the game. 4 of them belong to Obina Anachili Killen. Good game. Hopefully we don't see a letdown. South Alabama is going to be, again, a challenge right there with Marshall, vying for that top spot. 1 game back of Arkansas State. Doesn't matter what happens on Saturday. That's the MAC Sunbelt Challenge. Get right back at it next week. We'll have the game here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. So a lot went on yesterday. We had basketball.
We had a new volleyball coach announced. Signing day, obviously, that was the big one yesterday, so we can move a little bit past that, just a little bit. There were a lot of things happening, so we're going to try to get into all of it as much as we possibly can. It's been a busy time for some of the Olympic sports as well, but big day, signing day, you get a new volleyball coach, you get a win, national TV against the top team in the Sun Belt. You got to feel pretty good about where you're at right now as a Marshall fan. 304-396-TALK, our Clark's Pump and Shop text line, 304-396-8255. What's your reaction to last night? Were you at the game? Did you get a chance to go? Did you watch at home? And what impressed you? What stood out to you? I know the first half was kind of, okay, this is good. This isn't bad, but this could be a lot better. And then the second half, I think we can all agree there were a lot of good things, good adjustments. I think Coach really had a nice handle on what he needed to do to get the most out of his team that second half. And 2 of 14 from the three-point line in the first half, and you're only down 35-29. Yeah, I'd feel pretty good about my chances in the second half as well if I could clean that up and get a better look at what you need to do, where you need to score from. And thank you, Wyatt Fricks, for doing Wyatt Fricks things. More coming up on today's edition of The Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Valentine's Day is right around the corner, and Thoroughbred Express is celebrating with the Love Your Ride giveaway. Your chance to win a $50 Thoroughbred Express gift card and a $100 restaurant gift card for your dream date night. Follow Thoroughbred Express on Facebook, like the contest post, and tag your dream Valentine or Galentine to win. The winner will be announced February 10th. Good luck and happy Valentine's Day from Thoroughbred Express Wash.
You've cut back on everything and you're still coming up short at the end of the month. Give your local State Farm agent a call for a free discount double check. They'll show you how something as simple as combining car and home policies can save you hundreds of dollars a year. Being there to help keep more of your money is why your local State Farm agent is here. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
In Huntington, Jeff Smith, 304-781-1234. And in Wayne, Vicky Tabor, 304-272-5149.
Hey dude, artificial intelligence is awesome. I have an idea. Why don't we use artificial intelligence to find the best male enhancement product out there? AI knows everything.
Great idea. Asking it now.
The best male performance product for the bedroom is Knox 47 hands down. Knox 47 is rated at the top. Developed with highest quality ingredients, it's like the little blue pill on steroids. No prescription needed.
Knox 47? That's great. Do you know if this male enhancement product works right away?
Yes, Knox 47 is instant male performance. Knox 47 works in 47 seconds or less. Satisfaction guaranteed. Right now, Knox 47 is giving away free bottles.
Find out how to get Knox 47 for free. Call now, 800-617-1621. That's 800-617-1621. Free bottles for limited time. Call now, 800-617-1621. 800-617-1621.
It is Truck Month at Mark Porter Ford, and no one sells Ford trucks for less than the Car Ferry. 2024 F-150 save $12,000 in savings. 2024 Super Duties 4.9 for 72 months and $7,000 off over 100 pickups in stock. 2024 full-size Broncos up to $7,000 off. Most models. Want easy? Ask about remote delivery. Shop 24 hours, markporterford.com. Big selection? See why we crush the competition. Why pay more? Shop Route 32 and Mayhew Road, Jackson, Ohio. Over 400 used vehicles to choose from at markporterauto.com. Sale ends March 3rd.
Hey Tri-State, Frank's Place is where friends hang out with friends. Stop on by for happy hour from 4 to 6 p.m. and a lot of daily specials. If you're a sports fan, we have what you want. From the biggest game in professional football, NBA, NCAA basketball, and the NHL. First responders, stop by Frank's Place and check out the specials we have for you. Frank's Place, located at the River Place Plaza, next to Fratelli's. Check us out on Facebook for weekly updates and specials. Frank's Place, your home away from home.
Okay, forest animals, today is a new day. Kids are coming to the forest, and it's up to us to make their visit a good one. Sparrow.
Yes?
Have you practiced the most popular bird songs for the year?
Of course.
Catchy. I like it. Okay, River.
Dude.
How's the temperature?
It's a refreshing 52 degrees, man. Perfect for a little riverside shoeless relaxation.
Ah, good. Owl, you here? Course. Who's asking? I am. Look, you know the drill. Sleep during the day, scare the kids at night. Perfect. I love my job. Oak Tree?
What's up?
Still in the same place I left you last year. That's what I like. Consistency.
Well, it's not like I'm going anywhere for the next couple hundred years.
I know. I love it. Turtle.
He's not here yet, man.
He's late every morning. You'd think you would have learned by now to leave the night before our meetings. Okay. Squirrel. Has anybody seen Mr. Squirrel?
The forest has been preparing just for you. Visit a forest near you today. To learn more about cool things to do in the forest, visit discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
How was your day? What did you do in school? I'm Dale Lee, president of the West Virginia Education Association, and these two simple questions can encourage learning in your home. Showing interest and asking about the school day can help motivate your children and keep them excited about learning. So stay involved, stay curious, and ask specific questions. Student success involves the whole family.
A message from the West Virginia Education Association.
This is The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Follow at Paul Swann on X for Marshall sports updates and more.
304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. That's our text line to be a part of today's show here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. To the text line we go, brought to you by Clark's Pump and Shop. Texter says, Paul, thanks for the tickets. One of my winners. Thank you very much for going. Texter says, also, great win for the Thundering Herd, but very little room for error with only one guy contributing off the bench. Also, an officiating observation until Arkansas State started fouling Marshall late. They had shot 22 free throws, and we had only shot 9. It ended up being 12 of 17 from the free throw line for Marshall, and it was 16 of 23 for Arkansas State. I'll take this win. I don't care how it played out in the end. I hate how it happens sometimes. I'm starting to become more of a fan of the Elam ending. But this was a good win. No, this is not a good win. It's a great win. You're right. I'll take that. Great win. Also from the text line, 304-396-TALK, I like the research that you guys do. Paul, Marshall's transfer class was ranked number 2 in the nation by rivals, and also today had the highest season ticket renewal rate in program history. We are reloading with the right pieces, in my opinion. Also, another tremendous win last night. Coach Corney has got this team going. We're going to be a scary opponent for whoever that plays us in the conference tournament. Go Herd. I'm hoping that Marshall is like the end boss. I appreciate the text. I'm hoping that Marshall only has to play 2 games. If Coach can get this rolling real quick, get all the wins on the road, come home and hold home court, Marshall's going to be 1 or 2. I would love it if Marshall could win a regular season championship first year under Coach Jackson. Because, one, that would prove that he's got this thing going in the right direction. I think he's got it in the right direction anyway, but that would just solidify it. Here he is, first-year head coach, regular season conference champion. Okay, you feel pretty good about that. And then you look at this and you go, okay, can you win the conference tournament? You have 2 games to win if you're 1 or 2 seed. Semifinal and the final. Then you go through the NCAA tournament. And if the attendance is pretty solid these last 2 games, and Marshall should have pretty solid attendance, and Marshall is one of those upper echelon teams, I feel good about the possibility of, if needed, I feel good about a potential NIT bid. That's secondary. That's down the road. The goal here is to win the regular season championship and then win the tournament and do it the easiest way possible. Play in the semifinals, play in the finals. I don't want to see Marshall have to come 5 games into this thing to get to the championship. I don't want to see that. I don't think we're going to have to worry about Marshall being one of those teams that has to win 7. But I like where Marshall's at right now. You're battling for second place, and you could even slide up to first place. Let's see. Text line says, Paul, great for the Herd last night. This team keeps improving, and they always play hard. What more can we ask for? Go Herd. I won't question their heart. I won't question that. And that has always been a difficult one for me. I appreciate the text because sometimes we'll get people go, they're not playing hard. Oh, no, they're playing hard. It's just they're not playing well. And I think they're playing hard and they're also playing well. And this wasn't a situation where they were doing the same things in the second half that might have been keeping them behind in the first half. They adjusted. I liked what I saw from Mr. Double-Double, Nate Martin. I liked the starters' contributions. And, of course, Wyatt Fricks doing Fricks things, fricking everybody up. I loved it. 12 points. And 3 of 5 from the three-point line. He looked like he was having fun, and that was good to see. Also from the text line, Paul, we saw Thundering Herd basketball. Great effort and energy. A tough game against a very tough team, and our players enjoyed the challenge. Absolutely. Appreciate the text. Marshall played up to its competition. I hate it when Marshall plays down to its competition, and I love it when this team goes out, plays to its potential, no matter the opponent, and then when you have an opponent like Arkansas State, chosen because this is the top team right now, this is the team odds-on favorite winning the tournament. Marshall picked this game because ESPN thought, okay, this would be a good game to elevate. There's a lot of high stakes here, and if Marshall could have held on and not faltered against Georgia State, Marshall would be right now tied in the standings at number 1. And by virtue of the head-to-head would be the top team. So Marshall just one game away from being the top team. And with 6 to go, including 4 straight on the road, Marshall's got an opportunity to do something here. I mean, it could fall apart as well. Let's not kid ourselves. It could fall apart, but I think this team has started to figure it out. Winning 3 straight on the road, understands that Georgia State game, shouldn't have lost that one. You got to go in there with a little bit more focus, a little bit more understanding that you can't just show up. You got to put teams away, and now you go on the road for another tough one, South Alabama. That's going to be a tough matchup. You win that, I'll feel a lot better about where this team's at. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255 is our Clark's Pump and Shop text line. More of your texts coming up on today's edition of The Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Hit the road with the all-new University Ford. Shop our inventory of new Fords and used vehicles starting below $20,000.
Fifth Avenue, Huntington.
And online at universityfordwv.com.
We are University Ford.
Driving tradition forward.
At Poca Valley Bank, a handshake can still mean the start of a great relationship. We've been greeting customers with a handshake since 1908. Why settle for less? If you're purchasing your first home or planning for your future, Poca Valley Bank is here to support you with personalized service and local expertise. They are your trusted advisors. Why settle for less when you can experience banking with a team that truly cares? Poca Valley Bank, where relationships matter. Visit PocaValleyBank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey Tri-State, Frank's Place is where friends hang out with friends. Stop on by for happy hour from 4 to 6 p.m. and a lot of daily specials. If you're a sports fan, we have what you want. From the biggest game in professional football, NBA, NCAA basketball, and the NHL. First responders, stop by Frank's Place and check out the specials we have for you. Frank's Place, located at the River Place Plaza, next to Fratelli's. Check us out on Facebook for weekly updates and specials. Frank's Place, your home away from home.
Come on. Scioto Shoe Mart will bowl you over with super savings for 2 days only, February 8th and 9th. The entire selection of men's, women's, and children's shoes and accessories are buy one at regular price, get the second of equal or lesser value at half price. That's right, half price, half price, half price. Some exclusions apply. Plus, you'll find assorted clearance price shoes in every department of the store. Super savings that will bowl you over this Saturday and Sunday at Scioto Shoe Mart, 615 Harding Avenue, Sciotoville.
Come on. Now is the time to add on a new bathroom or remodel your old one with the latest up-to-date bathroom fixtures from Mutual Wholesalers, 710 5th Street, Huntington. Come in today to Mutual Wholesalers' beautiful showroom and see how your new bathroom will look. Check out Acre by Max. Have a new bathroom this year. Mutual Wholesalers, locally owned and operated, 710 5th Street, Huntington. Call 304-525-9118.
Stalwart Insurance is the name for insurance in the tri-state. They are committed to delivering tailored benefit solutions with thoughtful, strategic planning with valuable professional services. Stop by or call Stalwart Insurance for your homeowner's insurance needs. Stalwart Insurance is located right beside Kenny Queen Hardware on Route 10 in Barbersville. Call Stalwart Insurance anytime at 304-552-3883. That's 304-552-3883. Or visit them online at stalwartinsurance.com.
Hit the road with the all-new University Ford. Shop our inventory of new Fords and used vehicles starting below $20,000.
Fifth Avenue, Huntington.
And online at universityfordwv.com.
We are University Ford.
Driving tradition forward.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed, and they're the stuff inside your stuff. Even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover keytar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Countless victims of human trafficking walk among us, invisible until now. The Blue Campaign provides a unified voice for those who work to combat human trafficking. It's time to open our eyes. Learn what you can do by visiting dhs.gov/.
This is The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Miss an episode? Catch it anytime on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Our text line this hour brought to you by Clark's Pump and Shop is 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Welcome back to today's edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. We had a fun day yesterday, didn't we? A lot of new signees added to the Thundering Herd. Of course, then the basketball victory. And among all the fun things happening, got a new volleyball coach, Heather Stout, elevated from assistant to head coach for the Thundering Herd. Swimming and diving, sweeping the awards again. How about that? That swimming and diving program has been strong for the Thundering Herd. Unfortunately, there was a not so bright spot. In a way, it was okay. I hate that it happened in overtime, but the Thundering Herd on the women's side lost in overtime to Louisiana, 92-88. Battled back, battled hard, just fell in overtime. So still stuck at only 2 conference wins for Julie Folk's squad. But there were some good things that have been happening. We didn't get a chance to talk about this yesterday. Bryce Blevins, Marshall's baseball all-world pitcher, preseason all-Sun Belt team. Now, you ready for this? He's all Sun Belt, but the team was picked 12th in the Sun Belt preseason coaches poll. I'm sure Coach is saying the right things in the release. He said that, look, that doesn't matter. We don't care. I'm sure that's right now. That's posted in the clubhouse. Hey, you guys are 12th. That's what they think of you. I don't know if does that work anymore? With the transfer portal, these are new guys. Because I think everyone realizes nobody knows who's on the team. Like, baseball starting up here soon, and you don't really know who's on the team. Is the team going to be good? How much carryover did you have from last year? Coaches don't know. And that's the thing. Coaches are like, okay, we're 12th. I'm sure Coach knows that as well. Like, yeah, coaches, you're looking at other teams like, where were they at last year? 12th? Okay, 12th. Let's put them 12th. I mean, same thing with Marshall basketball. Coaches don't know year to year what you've got. And you're looking at, okay, you got this new coach, assistant, elevated, Thundering Herd, 10th. Okay, yeah, put that down. I'm hoping that 12th is not accurate, and they use that as motivation. I would put it on the bulletin board. In the clubhouse, I would have the preseason poll. I would have those standings visible where everyone can see what the other teams, especially getting close to conference time, I'd make sure that, yeah, preseason 12, huh? That's just me. Again, I function like Michael Jordan. I'm looking for things I'm making stuff up sometimes just to get mad so I can go out there and drop 30 on somebody. Just looking for things I would be looking for things to make myself mad. Back to the text line, 304-396-TALK. 304-396-8255. Hey, our guy Holmes is checking in. Holmes says, hey, Paul, I'm so impressed with the Herd. They seemed very prepared last night. And Corny and staff deserve a lot of credit. We could go deep in the tournament if we hit our threes. What says you? It's our guy Holmes. He hasn't checked in a while. Thanks for checking in, brother. The three-point shot did not do Marshall any favors in the first half. 2 of 14. 5 of 9 in the second half, and those were key three-point shots. Wyatt Fricks was feeling it, right? 3 of 5. And Michael Dawson's going to get his points. He was 2 of 9 in that game. He's going to get his points. But scratch that. Really scratch that. Jalen Spear was not hot. 1 of 5. And Michael Dawson, not hot. 2 of 9. Dezane Mingo, 14 points, 10 assists, 0 and 3 from the three-point line. So instead, you've got Wyatt Fricks going out there showing them how to get it done. Only 7 three-point shots, but 5 of 9 in the second half. That's the important thing. Crucial, key three-point shots. Obina and Achille Killen, 1 for 1 from the three-point line. And sorry, Obina, I'm sorry, you might have to hear this. Every time Obina takes a three, I'm not so sure that I feel comfortable with that shot. I don't know if it's because I just don't have faith in it. Again, I'm sorry, Obina. Yeah, great. Now Obina's going to put me on his bulletin board. Oh, Swann doesn't think I can hit the three, huh? That's fine. I'll own it. Absolutely, I'll own it. He hit his three-point shot. He's a three-point threat out there. Now I get it. You give him the opportunity sometimes to kind of make them on the other side kind of respect that. Like, okay, big man's going to put one up now and then. You got to watch out for that. I don't think anyone was ready for Wyatt Fricks. That's kind of why it worked, because Fricks went out there and 4 of 6, 12 minutes of activity out there, 4 of 6, 3 of 5 from the three-point line. I'll take that. And don't get, again, 3 boards all on the defensive glass. He had 2 blocks. He had 2 steals. We didn't even talk about that. He had 2 steals. Marshall had 3 steals in the game. 2 of them belonged to Wyatt Fricks. Marshall had 7 blocks in the game. 2 of them belong to Wyatt Fricks. Wyatt Fricks is maybe the player of the game? Okay, I'll give him, if I'm doing 3 stars, I'm going to give him 3 star. I'll give Dezane Mingo number 2 star, and I'll give Nate Martin number 1 star of the game. I can't argue with the double-double. And when you have 2 players in double-double, you can't argue with that. But if all things being equal here, Fricks was probably top 3 guy out there. And that's hard to say because Michael Dawson was looking good. Obina, when he was out there, 11 points. If he could have been out there a little bit more, he might have had a higher scoring total. And if you can keep him out of foul trouble. And for the most part, there wasn't really any foul trouble other than Obina. I mean, Fricks had 3. Dezane Mingo had 2. Michael Dawson had 2. Nate Martin, believe it or not, only had 1 foul. Jalen Spear had 3 fouls. So for the most part, Obina was the only guy that had foul trouble. And for 24 minutes, still 11 points, 4 blocks. If you can keep him out there a little bit more, but feel confident that, okay, you can maybe get another performance like you did from Wyatt Fricks, that would be something to behold. And I hope Jalen Spear finds that stroke again, because I like to see him in double digits. You have 5 players in double digits. Spear would have been 6 if you could have got him to 10. Final segment coming up. Your text on the Clark's Pump and Shop text line, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Final segment of today's edition of The Drive coming up on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Get everything for your next project at Menards and save big money. We carry everything to help you breathe easier. Allergen air filters help prevent seasonal allergy symptoms and improve your indoor air quality by capturing microparticles while allowing maximum airflow. Save big on allergen air filters when you shop at Menards. View the weekly flyer and all of our great deals happening this week on Menards.com.
Save big money at Menards.
Metro Community Federal Credit Union has been serving the Huntington community for 70 years and is proud to announce our newest location in Lavalette is now open. Wayne County residents, you now have access to a modern banking facility, a full range of services, advanced technology, expert financial advice, and even a smart coffee kiosk cafe. Learn more about Metro Community Federal Credit Union online at metrocommunityfcu.com or visit us today on 5th Street Road.
Equal housing lender, member NCUA. Stalwart Insurance is the name for insurance in the tri-state. They are committed to delivering tailored benefit solutions with thoughtful, strategic planning with valuable professional services. Stop by or call Stalwart Insurance for your homeowner's insurance needs. Stalwart Insurance is located right beside Kenny Queen Hardware on Route 10 in Barbersville. Call Stalwart Insurance anytime at 304-552-3883. That's 304-552-3883. Or visit them online at stalwartinsurance.com.
Get ready for the biggest game of the year, the Super Bowl. Kendrick Communications is proud to be the exclusive radio home of Super Bowl 59. Whether you're heading to or from the party, we're bringing the game to you right here on this station. Pre-game coverage starts at 5 as the Chiefs and Eagles go head-to-head in the ultimate showdown. Don't miss a second of the thrilling play-by-play coverage. Super Bowl 59 from your locally owned and operated Kendrick Communications family of stations.
All of Herd Country is excited for the new era of Marshall University football with Coach Tony Gibson's Herd out there next fall seeking to defend Marshall's Sun Belt Conference Championship. But you do not have to wait for September to get your first look at the 2025 Herd because that happens with the Green and White Spring Game Saturday, April the 12th, the 3 o'clock kickoff. Your sneak peek at the new look Herd includes a big celebration with dozens of Marshall alumni coming back to Edwards Stadium. And at $5 per ticket, you cannot beat the price. Get your tickets now at herdzone.com.
Giovanni's has great Italian dishes. Spaghetti with meat sauce, lasagna, ravioli, manicotti, and baked lasagna. Giovanni's has the best sandwiches around, from the stromboli, Italian sub, calzones, and their signature Big Red. All dinners will be served with hot garlic bread or Italian rolls. Giovanni's Pizza, fresh, hot, and tasty. Have it delivered right to your door. Giovanni's, the Italian place to be.
Okay, forest animals, today is a new day. Kids are coming to the forest, and it's up to us to make their visit a good one. Sparrow.
Yes?
Have you practiced the most popular bird songs for the year?
Of course.
Catchy. I like it. Okay, River.
Dude.
How's the temperature?
It's a refreshing 52 degrees, man. Perfect for a little riverside shoeless relaxation.
Ah, good. Owl, you here? Course. Who's asking? I am. Look, you know the drill. Sleep during the day, scare the kids at night. Perfect. I love my job. Oak Tree?
What's up?
Still in the same place I left you last year. That's what I like. Consistency.
Well, it's not like I'm going anywhere for the next couple hundred years.
I know. I love it. Turtle. Turtle.
He's not here yet, man.
He's late every morning. You'd think he would have learned by now to leave the night before our meetings. Okay. Squirrel. Has anybody seen Mr. Squirrel?
The Forest has been preparing just for you. Visit a forest near you today. To learn more about cool things to do in the forest, visit discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
How was your day? What did you do in school? I'm Dale Lee, president of the West Virginia Education Association, and these two simple questions can encourage learning in your home. Showing interest and asking about the school day can help motivate your children and keep them excited about learning. So stay involved, stay curious, and ask specific questions. Student success involves the whole family.
A message from the West Virginia Education Association.
Hi, this is Dave Wilson, host of Metro News Talk Line, and you're listening to The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Final segment for today's edition of The Drive. Our text line brought to you by Clark's Pump and Shop, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. As I alluded to earlier, a lot of activity going on. This has been a fun, busy couple of days. We, of course, celebrating a successful, I think, signing day yesterday, National Signing Day. And of course, Marshall winning in basketball on national television, 77-72 over Arkansas State. You've got a new volleyball coach in Heather Stout. Swimming and diving, once again, getting it done. Grace and Ksenia winning awards. Bryce Blevins, preseason All-Sun Belt team. Softball's in action tonight at the NFCA D1 Leadoff Classic. It's against number 10 Texas Tech, so we've got that starting up. Tennis is back at it. Undefeated tennis, by the way. Tomorrow at Indiana, 4 p.m. And John Mercer, just another feather in his cap here. Sophia Hurion, Sunbelt Women's Tennis Player of the Week. A lot going on. How about Coach Mercer, 5-0? Getting that thing off right. Get that win against Wake Forest as well. Probably going to go get the win against Indiana. Just write it down. We're going to have the show tomorrow, and we probably won't get the results until after the show, but I'm just going to say it right now. Marshall beats Indiana tomorrow. Stays undefeated. Stays undefeated this weekend. I like where this is going right now. And, of course, you've seen the university put out the socials. If you haven't, top team in the Learfield Cup standings out of all the Sun Belt teams. That's important. Of course, a lot of that's got to do, thanks to soccer. Soccer had a big part of that. But across the board, you're starting to see some of the other sports start to pick up some momentum. Swimming and diving, tennis. You're hoping softball can do the same, pick up some momentum. You're hoping that volleyball can turn it around. And we hope to have Coach Stout on soon in the near future. I'd like to get her on just so we could talk to her a little bit about what her plans are to turn the program around, what she thinks might have been some of the deficiencies over the last few years that have really held this team back, where she thinks she can improve that. So we need to get her on. We'll try to do that for next week. And, of course, we got basketball on the road next week as well. I don't know what we're going to do with our weekend, though. You guys got plans for Saturday? I know Sunday, we're all booked on Sunday of Super Bowl. But Saturday, do we have plans? What are we doing? Anybody want to come help paint and do some house repairs and other things with me? I mean, I'm not paying you, but, I got some free time. You guys got some free time? Can we do this? Can we make that happen? I don't know what to do here. It's a Saturday off. Herd fans, what are we doing on Saturday? Do we have plans? Absolutely. Think about this. What are you going to do on Saturday? You don't have basketball. It's been a while since we can actually say that. We don't have basketball on Saturday to occupy us. Now, I know we've got some other things going on. You look at the schedule, and there are other things you can do this weekend. But the Herd, for the most part, is away. Got women's basketball. There you go. That's our thing. We're doing that. 1 o'clock, taking on Central Michigan at the Cam Henderson Center. Okay, almost forgot about that. So apologies to Coach Folks. So Marshall women's basketball, Central Michigan. But for the most part, for most of you, we don't have a men's game to even consider. So maybe you put that energy into women's basketball. Show up, huge crowd there. Try to cheer them on to a victory. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. That's our text line to be a part of today's edition of The Drive here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I'm your host, Paul Swann. Thanks for everyone tuning in today as we get set for the final show tomorrow. And again, I want to thank everyone who was with us yesterday. Just on a serious note, we got out of here about 12:40, 12:45, and that's when the weather was coming down. And I think, after I gave our staff a ride home, I got home at 1 a.m. So it was a late night. A little bit more for me than probably for you. You were probably already home, but for those of you that were traveling, I appreciate you sticking around with us and just listening if you weren't traveling. So we had a good group of people last night tuned in, so I do definitely appreciate that. But we've got women's basketball over the next few days. Central Michigan's going to be 1 o'clock on Saturday, if you can get to that. And then on Thursday, it's going to be the women at the Henderson Center taking on Old Dominion. And then the next Saturday will be Marshall women versus Coastal Carolina. And then on the road, they've got the game against App State, then Georgia State, and then back at the Cam Henderson Center for 2 more. ULM on Wednesday the 26th, and then 6 p.m. on the 28th. And then it's the Sun Belt Championship. What do you think the women's going to end up? You think they can find their way out of that bottom 4? Could this Marshall team get hot as of late, maybe make a 7-game run? Wouldn't that be something? Marshall men maybe are in a situation where you play 2 games and you get to go to the NCAA tournament. What if the women's team got it all put together in this final stretch and then let's just say 6 games, 7 games, won 7 games. I think I was listening to some of the comments from the ESPN commentators, and they were actually jacked for this. Like, yeah, I want to see a team go 7. I want to see a 7-day team get to the championship. You know, if that was Marshall, I'd be all for that. But I don't think Marshall's going to have to worry about that. At worst, I think Marshall could right now be a 3-day or a 2-day team. At worst, 4 games. That's at the worst. There's going to be some separation over the next couple of weeks. But after last night's game, I absolutely feel a lot better about what the road stretch is going to be. And if Marshall can get the win against South Alabama, another team that is battling for that top spot, and it's been fun as of late, we're going to see some separation between the top teams. That's the interesting thing about it. We've got 3 weeks ago, and several teams are just at the top. I don't want to say this league is top heavy, but if Marshall can start pulling away, maybe Arkansas State stumble somewhere, and Marshall can catch up, because Marshall would have the head-to-head if Marshall can win out on the road, hold home serve. I think Marshall is playing 2 games. And if Marshall stumbles somewhere, 3 games at most. I think Marshall's playing 3 games at most and going to the NCAA tournament if it works out. We're going to be back with you tomorrow here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Thanks for tuning in. I will talk to you also on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Paul Swann. Have a great night, everyone. Back with you tomorrow here, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Broadcasting from the Dave & Buster's studios. Eat, drink, play, and watch at Dave & Buster's in the Huntington Mall. ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. WRBC and W231BS Huntington.